guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're not new here, I did cut my hair. I have bangs. If you are new here, hi, nice to meet you. I kind of just wanted to hop right into the video because I have been so excited to film this. I love summer, but my soul thrives in the fall, okay? So once August is like nearing an end, summer vacation fun has kind of like fizzled out. Preparing for September, that is just like where I feel like my body is like, we're back, you know? So I don't want to miss any opportunity to get any fall content for you guys, and that includes having a bookish day. I feel like the book girlies like thrive in fall. It is the time to get cozy, pick up a book, go to a coffee shop. It's just a time to do all the bookish things. It's the best season. The weather's so comfortable. You can start kind of wearing more layers, which I love. I just love this season. So I'm really excited for fall, if you couldn't tell. I just want to have the most fall bookish day. Now, it is September 15th when I'm filming this. However, it is still 81 degrees out in Virginia. We're gonna have to like modify the fall day just a tad, okay? Just a tad. I do have on like a little dress, which you'll probably see in later clips, but I am gonna whip out my new fall boots. Please let me know in the comments if we hate them or if we love them, because I am currently debating how to style them best. And I kind of wanted to try it out with this dress and a cute bag that I have to match. But again, let me know in the comments if you feel like it's a vibe or not. On the agenda for today, for our fall bookish day, first we gotta get coffee, okay? Because truth be told, I worked out this morning. I went to Pilates. It was a lovely start to my day. However, I didn't drink my coffee or an energy drink because I knew we would be spending time together later. So I am just raw dogging it right now. I'm just on my adrenaline, if you will. And it is 11 a.m. and I fear my eyes will become slits if we do not get a coffee or some form of caffeine in me in the next 20 minutes. Was that very millennial core? Yeah, I am kind of on the cusp. Sue me. We're gonna get a coffee. We're gonna go to a little like local coffee shop that I have just grown to love so much over the past few months. And we're gonna read for a little bit. I'll tell you guys about my current read in a second, but we're just gonna get into the vibes, read like a chapter or two. I don't wanna hang for too long because hello, we have plans. Like, we have a day to fill. I head to Barnes & Noble. Guys, I want to be honest with you. I have been on like a little bit of a book buying ban. I kind of did this intentionally because I really wanted to knock out my physical TBR, which I've done an incredible job. I will pat myself on the back right now for that. I did break it, I want to say like a week or two ago. I found a local bookshop near me. I wanted to just go in and check it out because I've never been in there. And then I love supporting small local bookshops. So I did pick up a couple books. I'll give you a little haul of those in a sec. But other than that, I have not purchased any books since maybe April, May. I don't by any means splurge because books are so expensive and I live in a small apartment, so I'm trying to be smart about how many books I'm getting at a time. I do have a gift card to Barnes and I have been saving it all summer for this video because I just want to get some fall books and have a little like fall day. So because of that, I've been holding on to this gift card. So I'm very excited to use that. I do have some books that I'm looking to get, which we'll talk about in the car. But let me first give you a haul on the books that I got recently. Okay, so I only got 2 books because they're hardcover. And I tried to avoid like fall-ish books because again, I wanted to wait till I was with you guys and we were filming this today. I kind of read in that fall cozy fantasy vibe anyway. So I know I'm gonna have plenty of books to read for, you know, this fall season. So I just decided to get a couple of them. First book is these 2 books I don't know how to say, so this is gonna be a little tragic. Arcana Academy. This is by Elise Kova, I believe is how you say it. Book 1. I am so excited. I'll read you guys the excerpt, the little quote that hooked me in when I went to pick up this book. So it says, a mysterious academy, uncertain alliances, and a unique spin on tarot make the perfect backdrop for a sexy romance. Academy is magical from nail-biting beginning to shocking end. I saw that excerpt. The book looks beautiful, right up my alley, very fall. Also could be kind of winter. Are we feeling winter? Because I kind of am. That is book number 1 that I picked up. Book number 2, this is the bookstore I went to, Fonts, Books, and Gifts. It is like right in McLean, Virginia, if you're familiar with the area. I 100% recommend. The lady that was at the front was so sweet. She did let me know too. They do little book club meetings, and it's a really small little bookshop. So if you don't like want to be overwhelmed with a big book club, but you want to get kind of familiar with book community, or you know, you love a genre and you want to kind of like meet other people that love the same type of books you do, I recommend. This bookshop was so cool, and they had some really unique books. I saw a lot of literary fiction that I want to pick up eventually. I just figured since we were getting close to fall, I wanted more of like the fantasy vibe. Anyway, on to the second book. I feel like everyone's not going to be shocked when I show this book. It is R.F. Kuang's new book, the one that no one can pronounce. Sorry, I'm not going to try because I don't want to embarrass myself too much. You know what I mean? I have not read any R.F. Kuang, but I have wanted to read Babel for a long time. Spoiler alert, that is one of the books that I will be picking up today, hopefully. So I feel like it's only right that I start with Babel because of how iconic that book is, and then hopefully I can get into this soon after. Another gorgeous cover. Please look at that. Like, how stunning is that green and the orange, and then the sprayed edges. This book, also without the dust jacket, is stunning. Look at this. How beautiful. To my surprise, I got this book, got to my car, and then I was showing my friend on FaceTime. As I was showing my friend this book, this little card falls out. I said, "What's that?" Yeah. Then I open it up. Hello. Yeah. Freaked out just a little bit. I literally can't wait to read these. I hope I get to them this season. So those books I picked up recently. Now on to my current read, and then we're gonna stop yapping and we're gonna get on with our bookish day. So last night I finished Red Rising, and Red Rising was a good read. It was good. I gave it 4 stars. I think I'll get into that a little bit more in an upcoming video. But overall, I really enjoyed it. It set up really well for the next story. I had a hard time with it at the beginning, and there was part of me just kind of like fighting to get through it at times. But overall, I loved the plot. I loved the relationships like we built with the characters, and it definitely sets up for a good second novel in the near future. I don't feel any rush to pick it up. That gives you any indication for how I feel about the book. I really enjoyed it. I will be getting into it, I'm sure, again, but just not right now. But anyway, once I finished that, I immediately picked up The Grimrose Girls by Laura Paul? I don't know how you say her last name. This was, I think, a monthly pick, or it was like by the cafe like a year or 2 ago. I was not expecting to like it. I figured it would just be like, you know, like a little nothing book. Like, just kind of like pick it up, maybe enjoy it, 2-3 stars, and then like move on. I surprisingly am having so much fun with this. I also think just going from a really dense book like Red Rising felt to me, going to like a little murder mystery, like dark academia vibe, kind of feels like a breath of fresh air in a way. So I'm really excited to be reading this. I got to chapter 9, which is around like page 52. I am really excited to finally get this off my physical TBR, and also finally to be jumping into a book where I'm like, I need to sit down and read this. Like, I'm itching to read this book. So I feel like that's a good sign, right? We'll see. I'm gonna form my own opinion. I just can't wait. I feel like it also gives fall. So I'm really excited to be getting into this. Red Rising also gave fall, so I feel like we're on a good trajectory to reading some good fall books this season. So I'm gonna be reading a couple chapters of this for sure at the coffee shop. Honestly, this is such a fast-paced book. might read more. Hey, I don't know. We're having our day, right? So we're gonna go to the coffee shop, get a coffee, and get a little bit into this before we head to the bookstore. I also want to bring some books to little free libraries. I was in this like rut of really wanting to build a library, and to build a library there's discourse, but usually it's between like 500 to 1,000 books. I was so set on I want to build to a library size amount of books, but truth be told, like I've read so many books in my life and I haven't loved every single one, and that's such a normal experience as a reader. You're not gonna love every book you read, and there are just some that I don't care to take up space on my shelves. Why am I keeping it on my shelves? You know, just to build to a number if I don't really love that book. As for the ones that have been sitting there a while, or some on my TBR that I know I'm not getting to, they just gotta go. So I think we're getting rid of about like 5 or 6 books. So I'll talk about those books and why I'm unhauling them and giving them to a little free library in the car. For now, let's go get our coffee, get a move on with this day, and stop napping, okay? All right, I'll see you in the car. Let's try the coffee. I got an iced vanilla latte with oat milk and then a salted cold foam, and I'm really excited. I've basically tried the same drink before, but I haven't tried the salted cold foam. I'm really excited. Oh yeah, that's hitting the spot. Yum. Next, I wanted to talk about my current read, and that's Grimrose Girls. As I told you guys earlier, but I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a rundown on the book. So we're kind of character jumping. So each chapter follows a different character, and we kind of rotate between them. Anyway, this book follows Ella, Yuki, and Rory, as well as another character named Nani, who joins the school a little bit late. So she's like kind of the outsider coming in. The story starts off following the death of their best friend Ari. And at first they're all trying to like come to terms with it in grief. They kind of just get the vibe that something was wrong about the death. Something was a little mysterious. Honestly, first impressions, the first 50 pages, I love it. And I feel like we're really just jumping right in. I feel like I already know the characters. Each of their first chapters, I feel like gave a little bit of a sprinkle. And then each chapter we're going to learn more and more and see some like character flaws and some cracks that'll make us start questioning each friend in the friend group, because now it's more of like a whodunit, but also we're trying to figure out like more about the school and the academic side of things. So I don't know, I'm really enjoying it so far, but I'm only 50 pages in, so I'll let you guys know more once I have more thoughts. Okay, we read, we sipped, we ate a little something. Now it's time, I think, to hit up the little free libraries. I really want to do this before Barnes, just so that the books are out of my car, they're in the libraries, and then we can kind of finish off the day going to Barnes, doing the haul, you know the vibes. But I read a couple chapters, still loving the book. I love when new characters are introduced in like a whodunit kind of like mystery, because then we're kind of like looking at everyone that walks in like, who are you? Who are you? And then we get like suspicious. The author knows what they're doing when they throw in a new character to like a whodunit mystery. It's like, well, how are you gonna come up later? Are you guilty of something? You know what I mean? So it's just kind of funny when you get introduced to characters in a mystery because you're on like high alert, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm loving it so far. Let's go to the Little Free Library. I looked on the Little Free Library world map. If you didn't know, you could look it up and find any near you. Little pro tip if you're trying to get rid of books or check out some. I found one a mile away. It's about a 5-minute drive. We're gonna check it out. I'm excited to get these books to Little Free Libraries because I do have some good books here. I might ruffle some feathers with these books that I'm getting rid of also. So disclaimer, if you like these books, I am so sorry. Books are not gonna be for every single person. And I still respect your opinions about the books. If there's any that I'm unhauling and you're like, why the hell did you unhaul that? Comment below and maybe I'll consider getting it again. But I just feel like I've had a lot of these books for a while and I never gravitated towards them. And I just feel like I might not enjoy them. So for now, we're gonna unhaul. That doesn't mean I can't ever get them again in the future, but I just feel like it might be better in someone else's hands. First book we are unhauling is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I read this book in, I wanna say 2021, and honestly, hated it. Hated it. I feel like we were forcing a lot of dynamics with these characters. They were like so spiteful and mean, but then like all of a sudden it was so sexual. It was so random. Like I just feel like the story didn't flow. They were so mean to one another, but it was like, we get it. Like, I don't know. I read this so long ago that my thoughts have like dissipated a little bit. I'm not like too keen on details. I know they came out with a movie based on it with Lucy Hale. And I know there are a lot of people that enjoyed this book. I just wasn't one of them. Second book we're gonna be unhauling together is For You and No One Else by Roni Loren. I toy around with this book because I feel like I might like it. I don't know. I don't know if I would like this. Anytime I go to read something from my physical TBR, no part of me gravitates towards this book. No part of me even cares to read the back and refresh my memory on it. If I really want to read it, I can always get it again. But I have just had this on my physical TBR for far too long to keep it. Like probably since 2020, 2019. It's not, I don't know. Something about it isn't jumping out to me. So I will be unhauling this book. But let me know if you've read it and you recommend it. I haven't heard much about it. I also I don't know. I'm not gravitating. So we're getting rid. Next book I will be unhauling is The Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. I just don't think this is a book I'm honestly gonna like. I've heard too many mixed reviews, and again, it's one of those books that I just don't gravitate towards. If I made a big uh-oh and I get comments that are like, girl, why did you get rid of that book? It was amazing. Maybe I'll consider reading it in the near future. But again, I've had this on my physical TBR since I want to say 2021. We're peaking 4 years and I've never wanted to read this book. So I think that's a sign that it's not going to be it for me. We are unhauling this book. Lastly, this is going to ruffle potentially a lot of feathers. I am so sorry to everyone that read this, loved it, is a big fan. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to anybody that treasures this series. I will be unhauling Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I debated this one for a while. I debated it almost as long as I've had it for. So I just think I've heard too many negative reviews, and the reviews that people are leaving on this book that are negative are things that would stop me from reading a book entirely. I've just heard not too great of things. And while even if I've heard positive things about the first one, I have heard it's just going downhill. Maybe like the every book after the first one, I've heard disappointment from people that like treasured and loved the first book. People were like, oh, like really let down. And I feel like I'm in the middle of too many series, to jump into yet another series where I might not even enjoy continuing it. So for that, I will be unhauling this book. Again, I'm not opposed to reading this in the future, but I just don't think it's gonna do it for me. I feel like it's gonna be too Wattpad-y. I feel like even just the fact that books get bad after this, if I like it, it's just gonna be more disappointment that I'm gonna have to deal with not finishing the series. Because at first I heard so much praise about this one, when the first novella came after Powerless, which is Powerful, I bought it right away because I thought, based on what I was hearing about this, there's no way I wouldn't like the next one. So I got the second one in the series, which I'm gonna stop doing now. I'm gonna stop getting second books in series unless I get it as like a bundle and I know I'm gonna like it. I don't like that I'm wasting my time and money on a book and I don't even know if I'm gonna like it, and then I'm spending more money on the next book in series. I just need to stop doing that. So for that, I'm unhauling both the first book and then the second book, which is the novella. And again, if you guys absolutely loved it and there are some raving reviews on books, maybe I'll change my mind and I'll go get it, or I'll read it on my Kindle. After all the discourse I've heard about where the series is taking a turn to, I don't think I'm gonna enjoy it. So for that, we have 5 books that are gonna go into a little free library, and there are 5 books that I really hope make somebody happy. Like, I want somebody to find their book, and I feel like little free libraries need better books, because then that'll keep the system running. Do you see what I mean? So we're gonna take these books. I might go to a couple little free libraries just so I can give like a few here, a few there. Anyway, let's head to the little free libraries and get rid of these books. Whoa, it's so zoomed in. Okay, mission accomplished. That wasn't as scary as I thought because I think no one was home, but I did it. Cool. So at the first little free library we came to, I dropped off For You and No One Else, as well as The Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. So I feel so good and I really hope somebody likes it. There were quite a few books in there, but I don't know how recently they've been touched or placed in there. So fingers crossed they meet somebody and somebody falls in love with them as books. So the next place we go to, I think we'll drop off Powerless and Powerful. I want to bring those together to the same one, as well as The Hating Game. We're just really close to an elementary school, and so I just want to be mindful of the books that I'm putting in the libraries and where. The Hating Game is quite spicy, and I also believe Powerless is a romance, also Wattpad-y, so I get the vibe it's not a closed-door romance by any means. So we're trying to be mindful of where we're putting books. So I decided those books would be best over there. Now let's head to our next little free library. I'm so excited. I'm having a good time. I love this. Again, it's never as scary as I think it's gonna be. Like, why do I get so worked up? But that little library was so cute. I'm gonna see if I can on my phone like get a couple clips or what I got on each. But it literally has like an Alice in Wonderland design on the side. It says, "Would you like an adventure now or shall we have tea first?" And at the top of it, it has the little Cheshire Cat and it says, "Choose your own adventure." And inside of it, they had a good selection of books. And there were 2 of these books that I really enjoyed. It was like definitely a children's book, but it was Impossible Creatures. If you guys remember rereading that, there were 2 like fresh new copies of that book in there. So that made me so happy. So the rest of the books are in there. They're out of my hands. I feel so good about where I put them. Now we go to Barnes. I'm so excited. Okay, we're not off to a good start. And by not off to a good start, I mean we already found books. And it's barely been a couple minutes of being in here. So I'm scared for how the rest of this trip is going to go. Scared. So far, I've picked up Psycho by Robert Bloch. It looks incredibly interesting. I saw something about Norman Bates on the inside, and that's all I need to know, honestly. Play Nice by Rachel Harrison also was drawn in by the cover. It's a story on possession, and I love horror, and I love stories on possessions. That's all I need to know about me. So yeah, off to a questionable start. Let's hope that I can be smart with the books that I'm choosing. And also, let's stick to my list. I'll put it right here so I'm not talking too much because it is quite busy today. But those are the books I'm looking for. Let's go on a hunt. I have always wanted to get into Cassandra Clare, but I'm not brave enough yet. So comment below and give me strength, please, because I would love to get into these. I just don't feel like it's in my wheelhouse right now. Okay, this is where ignorance is bliss when you don't come into Barnes, because I didn't even know the second book came out, and it's the special edition that I have of the first book, Study in Drowning. Now I'm tempted. Also, to the Barnes worker that told me I looked like summer. That's so sweet, but like, doesn't she understand I'm trying to give fall? Like, I'm trying to give fall. You can't win them all. You can't win them all, but I appreciate the compliment. I always appreciate the compliment.
Every day we wake up, eyes still closed, and no one knows the things behind our shut eyelids, or where any of it leads. None of what I see makes sense. My mind's a fence, but I'm still singing. Ooh la 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 la, life goes on, and I'm not done. When everything goes up in smoke, I loved you with the very heart you broke. Whispering in my ear, I hear you loud and clear.
We've made some alterations to our books that we got. I think I'm gonna cut off here. Honestly, I could stay here all day, but then I'd be broke. Okay, we are back in the air conditioning in my car where I can talk freely and not be anxious. I tried to get as many clips as I could, and honestly, that tiny mic is gonna be my life savior for this channel because I'm able to talk quietly and step away from the camera, and like I feel like I'm more at ease and like quiet with my ventures in public when filming, especially in a bookstore. I want to be mindful of like my voice and everything of the sort. So but it feels good to be back. But we have made it out of Barnes, and I'm so happy with one, the purchase that I made, and two, my willpower. I feel like, honestly, taking the break from going to Barnes almost like resets your spending habits in a way, that you're mindful of spending on a certain thing. I don't know, the more that when you get back into it, it's like a little bit more gentle and realistic. I don't know, I feel like when you get in a habit of going to Barnes and like buying books all the time, you just start to kind of ignore the price or get used to it. And after like a little break of getting books, me getting like my handful and then seeing how much just those few books were, I was like, oh. I did like switch out a book. I put down Psycho because I really want to read that book, but there was hesitation in my brain, and like it's similar to when I buy clothes. If I'm hesitating, why am I getting it right now? Like books are always gonna be there. It might not be like that edition, but like honestly, books are out in special editions longer than I ever think, and so it'll be okay. You will get the book. Books are forever. So I'm trying to be a little bit more realistic when it comes to like, but I want the book. It's like, babe, you're realistically not gonna read that for like a little bit. Like I have so many books in my physical TBR that I really want to get to this fall. I need to calm down. Like if I'm not going to get to them in the next month or so, why am I getting them? So that being said, I'm going to give you guys a haul of officially what I got, but I'm really proud of myself because I had a $50 gift card, as I told you guys before going in, and I used the $50 gift card. It covered my books, and then I had $15 in rewards at Barnes. Like within my membership, I had $15 in rewards, and so I used that as well, and I only owed $15 for all these books. 15. The first book I got was Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. I ended up going with this one over Psycho because I compared the two on Goodreads. I read a little bit more on the inside, and while I think I would love Psycho, I just feel like this is the kind of vibe I need. Because truth be told, I have a lot of dense books that I want to get to this fall, and I feel like I'm going to need brain breaks, and this looks like the perfect little escape that's not going to take too much brain power, if that makes sense. Psycho seems a little bit more like I want to pay attention and be honed in, and this one feels like a little fun horror escape. Next book I got was Strange Houses, and I'm not going to say the author's name because I do not want to butcher it. Japanese mystery, and I have just heard the craziest things about this book. I've always wanted to read it. It's not too long. There's also a second book, I believe. It's Strange Pictures, but I am so excited to read this. Maybe I'll do it in a little reading vlog. I did want to do like reading thrillers, reading horror stories for a week. Like I wanted to do some type of like spooky reading vlog, and I definitely think this will be the perfect book to put in that vlog. So let me know if you guys would want to see that, because I feel like that could be really cool. Next book I picked up was the long-awaited Fable. I honestly hesitated to put this back because I'm just kind of frightened. Fingers crossed I can get through this. I really think I'll love the premise, and I really want to read her new release, but I only feel like it's right to start here. So we got Fable by the R.F. Kuang. The last book I picked up was Surrogate Mother by Frida McFadden. I have heard this book is crazy. I heard it's crazy. I have a love-hate relationship with Miss Frida. She either really pisses me off or I like her books. Like I'm never 100% obsessed. So anytime I usually read a Frida book, it's on my Kindle because I don't really want to spend too much money, like full price for a book that I don't even know if I'll like. I decided to get this one in a physical copy because I heard much more raving reviews about this than I ever have with her books. So I'm quite excited. I feel like it's a premise that I'll really like. It's about this girl named, I believe her name's Abby. She's dying for a baby. She wants a baby more than anything. And then Abby's personal assistant kindly offers to be the surrogate to her baby. And I'm assuming from there, things take a turn. Maybe the assistant gets weird. Maybe there's things with the pregnancy that's weird. I don't know, but I heard it's crazy. And I'm actually really excited for this one. And it's Frida, so I know it's gonna be a quick and easy read. Like, I have no question about it. It's a Frida book. Anyway, those are the books I picked up at Barnes. It's been such a good day. I got my coffee, I read, I went to the little free library and dropped off 5 books. Got to go to Barnes, which I have not been in Barnes in so long, as I told you guys, and so just like, it felt so good to just browse and look at books and like actually allow myself the pleasure of like buying books that I've been looking at for some time. So, it's been such a good day. The only downside to like my fallish day is it's so hot. So it's a good thing I wore a dress. The boots are literally sticking to my legs. So that's the one downside, but it's fine. We're going home. But I think when I go home, I might change and take my dog for a walk. Not exactly sure where the day will take us, but I definitely think I want to get more reading in of my current read. Let's drive home, blast the AC. I will see you guys in a sec. Okay, truthfully did not last long. When I got home in those boots and that dress, I immediately took it off. I am sweating so bad, so I threw on some workout-ish clothes. We're gonna take Doggy here on a walk, aren't we? He's right here. He wants to go on a walk so bad, huh? He's literally looking at me like, man, we gotta go. So we're gonna go on a walk. I'm gonna bring my headphones and we're gonna listen to a little bit of Grimrose Girls. I'm excited. I haven't seen what it's like on audio, so we'll see if we vibe, and I will give you some thoughts if I have any about where I'm at in the book. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. Come on. You ready to go? You ready to go for the walk? Hit the door. Good boy. Well, everybody, we have made it to the end of our little fall bookish day. I had so much fun just kind of bringing you guys along. Really all my favorite things packed into one day. I'm gonna probably crank out some more reading. That being said, I have to kind of tidy things around here, get situated. So I just want to close this out properly with you guys so I didn't forget. But thank you guys so much for coming along with me. Stay tuned for so many more fall themed bookish videos. Comment below any that you want to see from me, but I definitely have a list of ideas in my head. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.